Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the World Series of Sealed, live from the Esports Arena in Santa Ana, California. My name is TJ. I'm joined by ShamonaHe. How have you been enjoying it so far? It's been fun.
Oh, it's awesome. I'm really excited. We've got to see a full draft there, which is always fun to watch.
Yeah.
And after we just saw VLPS, the first one actually taking advantage of the format and folding. So a lot of cool things going on, and I'm excited to see where we go with the second draft.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. Lots of cool stuff left to come here. Of course, we have the elimination rounds now. And then eventually, once everybody but 2 players are eliminated, we'll go into the final round, which is going to be cool. So lots of action here left.
Yeah, and I just want to give a quick shout out to some of our sponsors. We got Lyft, who is a huge supporter of Hearthstone, and they're actually offering $50 off your first ride. So no reason at all. Go ahead and just take advantage of it. They're just trying to support. Use the code Esports and head on down to the arena and check out all your favorite players.
Yeah.
Also, we got Sour Power PC, always a huge sponsor here at the Esports Arena. And then Gamer Sensei, one of our newer sponsors, who's actually, you can sign up for coaching lessons for Hearthstone, League of Legends, and various games over there at gamersensei.com. So check those out in the banners below.
Yeah, this is my first time being at Esports Arena. I live a few hours away, so it is a little bit of a trek up, but it's awesome. It's an awesome venue. There's a lot of cool players here, a lot of cool people here, and I wish I had this when I was a teenager, but it probably wouldn't have gone over too well based off of studies and things like that. But
yeah, you can study here.
Yeah, exactly.
We got computers.
Yeah, it's hard, but with all the distractions, a lot of cool stuff. But
so the next match we actually have going on is going to be StrifeCro versus Trump.
Yep.
We just saw Trump's full draft, and I know we talked about StrifeCro's a little bit as well. So we're going to take a peek at a couple of the other decks that have been drafted throughout the second draft already and see who's got the advantage in this one.
Yeah, so I believe first we have Raynads.
Yeah.
Raynads decks. So you can take a look there on the screen. Mage, Paladin, and Rogue. And keep in mind, all the players have drafted their second round to go into the elimination rounds here.
Right, so we have, let's start with the Mage deck. Seems relatively powerful, decent-looking curve, and a lot of, no super strong late game as far as like late game legendaries or like North Sea Krakens or anything. He does have a Blizzard and a Flame Strike, and then his 5-drop slot seems like his real power slot.
Yeah, and does have some good tempo tools as well with some of those early spells, Flame Waker, and like Argent Horse Rider is a good tempo tool as well. So we'll have to see how that one's going to perform. Paladin seems to be, the deck of choice for a lot of these players. I think Paladin's one of the decks that we've seen the most. I think that's because of all the strong commons. Yeah,
this Paladin list actually looks fairly strong. One of the strongest Paladin commons, which is the Keeper of Uldaman, of course. We see 2 of those in Raynad's list here.
Yeah.
As well as a decent amount of Dragon synergy and a nice-looking late game with a Dragon, I don't know how to say that, Draconiid Crusher?
Draconid Crusher, yeah.
Nailed it.
Dragon Consort into Nefarian seems pretty strong as well. So curious to see. That one has some cards that are a little bit interesting. And we saw earlier Trump at times had struggles with the dragon synergies just because a lot of the dragons, except for the Blackman Corruptor, don't do too much as soon as they're played on the board. And against the faster decks, they can tend to suffer a little bit. But let's take a look at the third deck here, the Rogue deck. This one seems to be interesting.
Is that the word you were going to use?
Yeah.
He has a fairly strong turn 1 with double Buccaneer, double Gadgetzan Jouster. And he has nice spells as well. We have Eviscerate, Sap, double Shiv, and on top of that, the most important card in the deck, at least Starseeker.
Yeah. Definitely the most important card in the deck. I find it funny that Raynad decided to put in 2 Gadgetzan Jousters in a deck that tops out at 5 mana maximum.
Yeah, it's pretty unlikely he's actually going to be able to pick those up. Speaking of 5-drops, though, he has a really strong turn 5, which I feel like is something that Raynad's been kind of consistent with across all of his decks. We can see in his Mage deck he has Interior Conjuring, Double Belcher.
Yeah.
First of all, he drafted 6 Belchers.
Sure, yeah,
so,
he did.
Why not just put him in all your decks? Because Belcher, right?
Yeah.
And then on top of that, some of the main cards I see from the Road deck are the Goblin Auto Barber, which I think is a fairly strong card.
Yeah.
One of the only reasons you would ever coin weapon.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
But you're sort of giving it away to your opponent.
Yeah.
Unless you're at like 0-2 in Arena, if your opponent coined weapons, you don't know if they actually have a Goblin Auto Barber behind it or if, they just feel like coined weapons the stronger play. But the Rogue decks, I don't know. It's just questionable. I think Raynad just might be looking for some Gadgetzan Jouster highlights of him losing jousts.
Oh, I mean, I love those Tempo Storm highlights of him getting RNG wrecked.
Yeah.
They're the best ones.
This could just be a contribution to that, but we'll have to see. Again, the players tend to go towards 2 main decks. Since it's best of 3, they don't get to play all 3 of their decks.
So you think he's focusing more on the Mage and the Paladin list then?
Yeah, it feels like it, yeah.
Okay.
Just because of the commons. A lot of times you can tell by the quality of commons across the decks, it feels.
Sure, and if you guys want to know more about the format and how the tournament works itself, go ahead and type !rules. You can watch a short YouTube video about how all this works. And another cool thing that we actually have going on is we have some technical difficulties early, but we have the players back on the actual poker table playing with their headsets on, which means we're going to have banter between the players.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I mean, it is StrifeCro and Trump, so I make no promises, but
Yeah.
The players will be able to interact with each other during the game itself, and we will be able to hear it, and so will you. So it should be pretty exciting.
Trump tends to be a pretty big fan of the theatrics, so
That's true.
I'm hoping he tries to get some mind games going with
Pull
StrifeCro,
some
get in his head a little bit.
Pull some like Yu-Gi-Oh stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. Yeah. And Reynad will be going up against Zalay in his matchup, which will take place, I believe, the third elimination match coming into round 3. So these are Zalay's decks, so we can talk about them and how they match up, I suppose, against what Reynad's game plan is. So he has Mage Rogue as well, but his third deck is Hunter.
Yeah, so, I mean, Hunter is one of the decks we've been seeing a lot of. His Hunter deck looks fairly similar to his previous draft. And I don't believe Zalay's actually drafted his second draft yet, because this is the same one from the first one.
Is it?
It is. Just look at the rogue, you'll understand. Remember this?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So Zalay actually hasn't drafted a second time quite yet. The only ones that have would be Trump, StrifeCro, and Reynad. I think we've seen all 3 of those. So it looks like we have all of the updated lists. Those players will be starting their drafts on stage now, and then we'll be able to watch that in we'll just be able to see what cards they ended up with afterwards. So
yeah. I thought Zalay was just trying to pull a fast one on us.
Yeah, I know.
Because his decks were so good.
I don't want to change my mage deck. It's fine.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he will have to redraft. Unfortunately for him, he will have to redraft because those decks were pretty powerful.
Well, we saw him. I think he 2-0'd and then got double folded on. So
yeah,
he didn't even really need to do much. But because the double fold's actually pretty bad for Zalay because he lost the opportunity to gain additional gold.
Yeah.
So if he was able to push VLPS to the end and double bet both times, VLPS would be all in this round, and it'd be his life on the line for the tournament. And instead, VLPS actually gave himself, I believe he lost 300, right? So
with just the ante, yeah.
No, he's still all in.
Yeah, he's still.
I guess he just wanted to dodge being eliminated.
Yeah, or he just wanted more to work with. So going all in with 100 as opposed to going all in with 400 is a lot worse.
That's
because
true.
Your maximum, you can only gain 200, so you'll have to win like 4 times in order to get back to
you would be all in
500.
every single round.
Yeah.
Right? This way he can dodge it for a round.
Yeah, if he wins this one and doubles his gold, his chips, and goes up to 800, then that means next turn he has enough for an ante plus 1 bet. So let's take a look at the chip counts. For those of you who may be just tuning in, StrifeCro, of course, who's going to be in the next match, is our gold leader at 2050.
Yeah, and we got Zalay coming in second with 1,600, as we talked about a little bit earlier. He wasn't able to gain that extra gold because VLPS did double fold on him.
Yeah. And, of course, Firebat, Reynad, VLPS, and Trump down there a little bit. Firebat's still sitting pretty good. We saw him play the conservative approach earlier on, and, just collecting his chips slowly, keeping it at the middle of the pack, staying alive. And, of course, VLPS and Trump going to have to go all in their first matchups here going into elimination
this is
rounds.
round 3, and that means that the ante is 450 gold just to enter. So VLPS and Trump, their lives are on the line here, and even Reynad, he's going to only have 100 left, and I'm assuming that whoever he plays round 1, which is Zalay, is going to put him in 100%.
Yeah.
Like there's no way Zalay is going to allow Reynad to just push him around.
Yeah.
Basically, so we could very well see 3 eliminations this round. I doubt we'll see 3, but at least 1 or 2, I would assume.
All right, well, let's take a look at the schedule so we can see exactly what's coming up. So Trump for StrifeCro, you might have been able to see them getting ready on the stage behind us to play their match. Then we'll go into Zalay versus Reynad and Firebat versus VLPS. As ShamonaHe pointed out, we could end up seeing 3 eliminations this round. But if not, then we'll head into even more elimination rounds. We'll up the ante even more, so that way, more players will get eliminated.
That's how it works.
We're killing them off.
Killing them off one by one. Each round, the ante is increased by 150.
Yeah.
So it was 150 round 1, 300, 450. Next round is 600. So if all the players somehow dodge eliminations this round, next round's definitely going to be life on the line again.
Yeah, which is a big deal. And some players, you got to start taking risks at some point, even if you are ahead, because it's the top 2 that move on. There's no difference between 3 through 6. If you get eliminated in the elimination rounds, it doesn't matter if you're eliminated 1st or 4th.
That's true.
You just want to get to that finals. You just want to play in sort of that sudden death style for the big money.
So we do have the games coming up here in just a minute. So far, I would have to say that between these two players, looking at their drafts, I kind of like StrifeCro's list.
Yeah.
You as well?
I'm going to go ahead and agree with you. Usually, I'll take a different approach, but it felt like Trump just all of his decks were decent.
Yeah.
Where StrifeCro had 2 decks, the Shaman and the Paladin, which was like, whoa.
They look so strong.
Yeah.
The Paladin has so many strong commons, as you mentioned earlier, that Arena as well as Sealed, it makes it so simple to really just put together such a powerhouse deck that curves out and stomps.
Yeah, you just need 10 commons to throw in there to round it out, and then you can put pretty much anything in there. So Trump could surprise us, though. His Mage does have some curveballs thrown in there, as well as the Rogue was. It felt like it was super volatile.
That's true.
Very hit or miss, but if it hits, then it can hit hard.
Yeah, Zele's Rogue deck actually has a lot more spells than most of the Rogue decks we've been seeing. I know we saw Firebat, who had, I think, a Shadow Step and a Sap.
That was it.
And then a couple of the other ones, they're really lacking on spells, which is what's really hurting Rogue in this format.
Yeah.
Is the fact that they're not getting a lot of those spells, but instead getting other class cards like the Dark Iron Skulkers and like the Unearthed Raptors, the cards that are kind of hard to fit into decks with synergies and things like that. They're really looking for those powerhouse spells like Eviscerates, Flurries, Tinker Oils.
Dark Iron Skulker, I think, is a decent. I think is a great card, actually.
Oh.
It's a 4/3 body, and you backstab every single target.
That's true.
I mean,
you got me there.
Yeah. I mean, I literally just said exactly what it does, but you think about that in just a nutshell. For 5 mana, it ends up being pretty ridiculous, especially on big boards. It's like a Flame Strike, but you develop something all at once. A miniature Flame Strike, but you develop something all at once. So as long as everything's undamaged. I think it's sealed. It's really great as well, because a lot of times people don't think about playing around it. There was one player, I can't remember even who it was, who before played around it in a really weird way. I'm not sure if they were even doing that or just backstab, but those types of things are cool to see in sealed. Testing the mind further than it's usually tested in constructed. Drawing Wild Growth.
Yeah, we had some pretty cool
Intervening out Druid of the Claw, things like that.
It's like, oh, Dr. Boom. Oh, comboed.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it. We had some pretty cool interviews upstairs with some of the players talking about the new format, how they like sealed, things like that. Kind of the consensus is that they're all pretty bored with the way that the game is at the moment. They're really waiting for that standard. So anything that can really spice it up, especially something that's interesting as a twist with like poker, which is kind of weird when you think about it, but I think it's cool to always throw a couple things in the pot.
All right. Well, I think we're gonna send it down to Wade, who's on the floor, who's gonna get the initial bets here. But I can guess how it's gonna play out. So let's send it down to him.
All right, we are about to start round 3 now. We have StrifeCro and Trump. StrifeCro, what 3 decks do you have today?
I have Warlock, Paladin, and Shaman.
Okay, and I understand you brought Shaman for game number 1?
Yeah.
All right, and Trump?
I have Mage, Warlock, Rogue, and I brought Warlock on game 1.
All right, so we do have those matchups. The ante is now 450. Trump, you only have 400, so that's actually going to put you all in this match. So
I bet eat all.
You can't bet.
All right, thank you, KGB. Rounders right there. You can go ahead and call the 400.
One honorary triple do. Is that really 400?
I'll double check it. Okay. All right, good luck. You guys can go ahead and put your Astros on, and you will be able to hear each other, so I expect a little bit of talk right here. Maybe some Prison Trump coming out.
Good luck, Trump.
Hello, StrifeCro.
Hey, I'm cheering for you.
Oh, thank you. I could use the win, because I'm going to get eliminated if I lose.
I know. Both of us are rooting for Trump here.
All right. Well,
Good to hear.
it'll be cool to hear into the players. So we'll try and listen in sometimes to hear exactly what they're going to be talking about.
Go
can't
ahead
see
and
this
challenge me.
Oh, it looks like they're... I'm excited for Prison Trump. That's what I'm...
Yeah.
Oh,
I can't challenge you for some reason.
Oh. Neither can I. You
Uh-oh.
All right.
relog.
Looks like we're going to get some technical difficulties worked out real quick, and then we'll be jumping into the game pretty soon here. Those are our NVIDIA Shield tablets that we're using.
Yeah.
They're pretty cool, actually. Have you
It's
tested
not really
them out before?
7:30. is
Yeah,
it?
yeah. I was. I can't remember what event it was, but they had a bunch of them out there to test out and play.
Cool.
You know, if you can't win the fatigue war, you should concede to me.
I can win the fatigue war.
Are they playing? I didn't catch it. Are they playing Warrior
I
Mirror?
normally stay up until 4 a.m.
Oh, that's what he means by fatigue.
Okay.
I think he meant like
Not the
mental
fatigue in the
right?
decks. Yeah, yeah. I think it's Warlock versus Shaman.
Pretty good-looking Astros too. Those are
Yeah.
new. We just got those.
Those are nice.
Yeah, they're like super soundproof.
Good.
We
I
put them
can't
on, you're
challenge
just like,
anyone.
where am I?
So we can say bad things about Trump and StrifeCro
Check.
And yeah,
and how they both
Let me
aren't
relog.
good at sealed,
Okay.
and they won't even be able to hear me.
I love it. I'm in.
Yeah.
They're gonna watch the VOD and be like, TJ, what the?
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
challenge other people actually, just not you.
Yeah, I'm in spectator mode for some reason.
Oh, that's weird. All right, so we figured out the
Don't know
problem.
why.
Yeah, Trump
Trump-
figured out the problem
Trump-
for us.
Trump was in spectator mode. As always, it's Trump's fault.
Mhm.
But this is why we bring prison Trump instead of regular Trump. I actually didn't even invite Trump to the tournament. It was
Yeah.
prison Trump we invited.
Yeah,
There he is. What a good-looking man.
yeah. Concentrating very hard on logging into Battle.net.
We figured it'd be smart not to show the password.
Oh, is that does Trump actually have Prison Trump on his own
of
shirt?
course.
That's the first time I even noticed that.
Oh, really?
It's so
There we go.
stylish that I just didn't even know that it was a shirt
Terrible.
of himself.
It is a good-looking shirt, isn't it?
Yeah,
I'm just kidding. I have no idea if it's actually him. Is it him?
I think it is.
Is he wearing heart sunglasses in that shirt? In that picture?
Yeah, I don't know. It might not be him. Looks like it.
It's weird.
Yeah.
But he is pretty known for wearing shirts of
I
himself.
wonder if it's because I'm logged on somewhere else. Spectator mode.
Oh, it's
I think you'd get kicked out by now.
pretty.
Yeah, it says, have you seen Prison, I think.
Does it really?
Yeah, it is him with heart-shaped glasses.
I love it. I'm
Yeah.
so excited.
Say that again?
Oh, he can hear us now.
no,
We
I
shouldn't
mean, I
talk
logged
about him.
on there
Yeah.
to build the decks.
Hey, Trump.
Hey, Trump.
Yeah, so we should be getting this started.
I mean, I guess we'll talk to chat. Let's talk to chat. You wanna talk to chat?
Hey, Chad.
Hey, chat. Have you seen Prison Trump?
Yeah,
I love chat. Chat cracks me up, dude.
me too. Should create a copy pasta right now.
What should it say?
That looks promising.
Should it say something about Prison Trump?
I don't know.
Okay.
All right, I think
This
I
is
think
my
I fixed
prison,
it.
I think so.
Trump.
Oh, it is working.
You nailed it. You're the best copy pasta creator I've ever
Yeah.
seen.
Wait, what
There we
class
go.
are you?
I'm Warlock.
Oh, I'm Shaman. Okay, cool.
I like how instead of just saying it into his mic, he yelled it
Of course.
to hope StrifeCro could hear it through the headset.
So the reason they have two mics is the Astros communicate to each other, and the giant mic in front of them make it so we can hear them as well.
Yes,
Yes.
that is correct. So they don't have to rely on hearing it from the speakers. So we did just hear
Yeah, cool.
themselves give confirmation. Shaman versus Warlock is going to be that first matchup.
I'm really digging these memes.
I think you just canceled it.
Yeah.
All right,
Oh
I'm
no,
telling you.
Trump!
Okay,
Why?
sounds good.
Eventually we
Sounds
are just
good,
going to get
bro.
into this match.
Probably.
Yeah.
We might. Maybe we'll just hang out and talk
Yeah.
to chat all day.
Yeah. So to give an update, basically the pot right now is just 400 gold because that's exactly how much Trump had
The
remaining.
Trump is 800 gold. Or the pot is 800.
Oh,
I
800
feel
gold.
like this
800.
mic's invading my private
800.
space.
Yes.
805?
How is 805?
StrifeCro just
It's
put an
okay.
extra 5 chips in
It's
there.
not even
I'm good.
possible. They only come in
All right.
25s.
Oh. Okay. 800 chips, 400 from each player. So that means if Trump wins, he doubles his total gold.
Yes.
But if he loses, he is eliminated.
Yes.
If he loses his best of 3, he's out. And he goes away with $250.
That is true. The way the breakdown for the prize pool works is every player, fourth, no, hold on,
Yeah.
third, no, damn it, fourth through, help me. I
All right,
I
so
can't talk.
third through 6
Thank
gets
you.
$250 each.
Yes.
First place gets $3,750, and second place gets $1,250 for a total prize pool of $6,000.
That's not a bad prize pool for just
Are you a
6
zero
players.
hand lock?
Yeah.
All right, so
Reno Jackson.
All right, so we got some
How's your
mind
hand,
games
Strife?
going on.
Good.
Okay.
Trump's running the Wrath Guard. That's kind
That
of
sucks for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually really like StrifeCro's
Yeah.
hand.
Yeah.
I think it's really strong. I wonder if Trump's just
but
gonna.
since we're both trying to make you win,
Try to mulligan the low-cost cards and keep the high-cost
yeah,
ones.
that's what I'm doing right now.
Thank you.
This is great. I like this.
Trump's really teaching StrifeCro a lot about Hearthstone at the moment.
Yeah. You know, have you ever watched Trump teachings before? He has a.
Can't say that I have.
Well, he has a YouTube series, I believe. I think it's called Trump Teachings,
Okay.
and it's basically just a bunch of Trump and him teaching.
Yeah.
Maybe he's gonna lay down one of his lessons on StrifeCro right now.
Sure. So if we remember back to StrifeCro's draft when we actually saw it, he's got a pretty low curved, high synergy Shaman deck here with a lot of overload cards for the Tunnel Trog, a few mechs for the Power Mace. And Trump's deck is a more token focused, more minion focused sort of Zoo Warlock.
You will regret this.
I'm gonna shield slam that for 20 this game. That's my goal.
It's possible.
Do you think he knows he's a shaman?
I don't know.
I think that coin Feral Spirits is probably the way to go here. You do have a Rockbiter next turn to follow up.
Yeah.
So you're only gonna have 1 mana left over, so it's not too bad.
Yeah.
So.
Oh my god. What a cheater.
Yeah. Whoa, what a downer.
Oh man.
Oh,
So-
that's actually
A
pretty
4-3
good.
is pretty good here, though.
Yeah, that's going to allow
Yeah.
him to take out the Tunnel Trog, kill off one of the Feral Spirits, and then he's going to be able to lead into his next turn
Indeed.
with Implosion. And that seems pretty strong from Trump overall.
And he knows that StrifeCro's limited to 1 mana next turn.
Right.
So he has to either have a 1 mana minion or a 1 mana spell to follow this up to have any play. So I don't know. I don't think you could be thinking about Echoing Ooze because Echoing Ooze just gets traded into so easily here. I don't think tapping really means something. He might be trying to get StrifeCro to overextend into Demon Wrath, but I don't know if you can afford to do that. You're going to take so much damage in the process.
Yeah, that is a little risky. If he goes with the Echoing Ooze, StrifeCro will probably trade with his 2/2/3s into them, assuming that, I guess, Trump doesn't kill one of them. But it looks like he wants to hold on to the Demon Wrath simply because of the strength it has against Shaman with the board clear.
Yeah.
Because the board clear for, again, Shaman, especially when you don't know exactly what's in their deck, is relatively important to hold on to.
Yeah.
And on the top of that, he also has Sea Giant in his hand. This means that if StrifeCro ends up playing just like a 1-mana minion and going face, he would actually be able to play that Sea Giant here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true, actually. Maybe keeping in mind that he needs to get that Sea Giant out eventually and wants to try and get it out when, he is the one that has the minions on the board, not his opponent, has a lot of merit. So not looking in the turn in a vacuum, but looking at his whole hand when he's making that play. So it ends up being, I feel like that's the right choice.
Yeah, it worked out pretty well for him. He does have a
Are you
good
ready
Demon
for
Wrath
a
here.
4? Woo!
But it
I
looks like we're
am.
going with the Implosion.
Bam! Oh, never lucky.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh, no.
that's very sad.
This is the greatest. So it looks like Trump does end up running with 2 Plosion there, which is kind of detrimental to him, not only because he's going to end up losing a board presence there,
Yeah.
but also the Sea Giant is even more, it's not going to be able to come out because he rolled a 2.
Yeah.
If he rolled a 3 and StrifeCro played even 1 minion, he'd be able to get it out.
And Demon Wrath's even going to work against him in that regard. So,
That's true. All right, pulls the 1/1. He's probably looking for the taunt there to try to protect his Whirling Zap-O-Matic. Unfortunately, he ends up pulling the 1/1 instead, so guess we'll probably just go face. He could trade to protect the Whirling, but we know that would go very poorly for him.
yeah. But, I don't know. Maybe he expects a Sea Giant. I don't know. There was no way that he could expect that. So,
I
that'll be
thought
the only
about
way
that,
to me.
Strife.
I did think about that.
I mean,
What are you thinking about?
How much damage I need to kill you?
give it to him, StrifeCro. It's kind of interesting to listen into the players. Let them trash talk on each other.
Trump seems to be the one that's trying to get into StrifeCro's head here.
You think it's working?
No.
That's violent, Strife.
StrifeCro,
That's so violent.
I know. The only reason I picked Shaman is because of my proclivity for violence.
What the hell word was that?
I don't
what
know.
did he say? Was that a real word?
Yeah.
Can we get a Twitch update on whether or not that is a real word, chat?
We need
Thank
a
you.
dictionary of Kong Shu here.
All right, well, you were right to think about it, because here's the punish. Bam.
So it looks like Trump's going to go with the Demon Wrath over the Sea Giant itself, which I think I kind of like because this really gives him a lot of options, especially with the Demon Wrath, which does get punished relatively hard by both the Sludge Belcher and the Power Mace.
Yeah.
I think I like the Sludge Belcher here, but the Power Mace definitely could have merit.
Yeah. I feel like just playing on curve, though. You can even just play Power Mace and Spider Tank behind a Belcher next turn, if necessary.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
If we drop the Sludge Belcher this turn, it gives us the option to develop both Power Mace and a Minion next turn, or even just maybe like a Fire Guard Hero Power or something along those lines, really depending on what ends up developing.
All right, well, how much do you value Hero Power in this situation? And that's exactly what we're going to see from StrifeCro. Yeah, it's... I don't know. He knows that this card that's been in Trump's hand has sat in there since, the opening hand, so it's a very situational card. Uh-oh. This is about as best as it's going to get for Tinkmaster Overspark.
I think we probably start with a tap here.
Yeah.
And then we just turn StrifeCro's Totem into a 5/5 and call it a day. Is that right?
Seems to be the way to go. Echoing You is actually could end up being better here. Yeah. Tinkmaster Overspark is probably something you want to play when you're the only person that has a minion on the board to not have that huge swing over to your opponent.
That's true. And, a Thunderbluff Valiant. That'll be good probably next turn. And this turn, I think I still like the Sludge Belcher. But now it feels bad.
Yeah, you're just playing off curve from this point on. So StrifeCro made that conscious decision last turn to make sure that the board was as clean as possible going in. And he really is valuing this hero power, so we'll have to see. He is going to get value from this. Overall, this is going to be more power than just playing a Sludge Belcher, and he will clear more off the board.
That's true. Yeah, he does get the buff from the Power Mace there on his Spider Tank, which is always good to pull that extra synergy off.
Yeah.
But this is going to give Trump an opportunity to develop the Sea Giant.
Yeah, get it out there.
He could have played the Tinkmaster, couldn't he?
Well, he could have, but in order to make the Tinkmaster consistent, he probably would have had to kill off those 2 totems.
That's fair.
To make sure that he either turned his 5/6 into a 1/1 or a 5/5. It was always either an even or a good outcome in that situation.
That's a pretty big tank you have there, Strife. But I've got a bigger one.
All right, well, Trump bringing the heat. StrifeCro seems to be shutting down a little bit after seeing that Sea Giant come out here.
Trump makes everything feel scripted.
I love it.
Yeah.
I feel like StrifeCro might go for a Belcher Hero Power attack face turn and just try to burn him out.
Yeah. Yeah. The Sea Giant's going to be hard to deal with, though.
He doesn't, which is why I'm really feeling the Sludge Belcher turn here to possibly allow him to get through the face.
Yeah.
What you thinking about?
I was waiting for it.
No, not that. No. No. Oh. 3. Oh. Come on, Strife. Not like this.
He actually goes with the Crackle. Looks like he wants
That's
to kill
cheating.
the Sea Giant.
I think at first he thought
Is
it
he
was
going
a hex.
face? Wait, what's happening right now? Interesting.
No, not that one. Yes. There. Woo. Huh.
Too tempting.
All right,
Face
so
is place.
I do see a board clear here for
Good move.
Trump. He can trade in his Sea Giant. Or no, maybe he can't board clear.
His Sea Giant gets killed by the Demon Wrath.
So he has to trade it first.
Yeah.
But if he Demon Wrath,
What do you
everything
do
else
if you roll a
dies.
3 or a 4, Strife?
My trade.
You scumbag.
So Trump picks up a Dark Bomb, which is probably relatively strong. I still imagine that this Sea Giant is going to be going into the Sludge Belcher.
Yeah.
No? Looks like he's keeping it alive. Oh, actually, this makes a lot of sense. He can actually just use the Sun Clerk to trade up, and he can actually push the 8 damage to the face here. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He could.
I mean, he should probably trade, though, because he might die.
Well, there's 5 damage on the board. He's still at 13 health, so StrifeCro would actually have to have 8 damage. And Trump saw last turn that he actually had trouble making the decision whether or not to go face up, but he trades anyway.
He might not want to get too punished from like a Lightning Storm, especially since he hasn't seen too many spells from StrifeCro. He doesn't really know what's happening, but...
And he needs to try and find value out of this Tinkmaster Overspark. I can imagine he'll have to use it next turn, considering he has a board full of weak minions, and he's hoping that StrifeCro will play something large, so that way he'll be able to either turn whatever StrifeCro plays into something smaller or something even, or turn one of his minions into something bigger. So Tickmaster Overspark, I'm sure Trump is sort of questioning why he decided to keep that in his deck over some other strong comments that he left out.
It's definitely true. It's kind of interesting that he included it, but I'm just expecting him to eventually slam it down and turn one of his minions into a 1/1. So I think we're getting towards that now or never point with Trump, where that's not helpful.
You're running out of life there, Trump.
It's okay. Life is a resource.
This is actually a relatively close
Yeah, and you're
game.
running low.
I feel like StrifeCro kind of has an advantage just based on the value of the cards in his hand,
Yeah.
but I mean, I feel like it really comes down to this Tinkmaster Overspark, to be honest. Because this Tinkmaster, like, if it changes one of Trump's minions into a 1 or a 5/5, it's going to give Trump like a really strong presence on board.
Yeah.
And at the same, and if it turns one of StrifeCro's minions into really anything, it could be pretty either detrimental to Trump or really just improve the overall game for him.
Yeah, right now he can actually use Demon Wrath effectively here. He can trade in all of his non-demons into the Belcher. Demon Wrath to clear off the taunts. Okay.
And then
Yeah, and then he could Tinkmaster.
What kind of cards do you have there? Oh, what?
Okay, it looks like he's
Keep
just going to
everything
decide to
low.
use the Dread Infernal instead.
Oh.
okay, that's actually not too bad. I mean, we're still just holding
There,
on
bam.
to
Not bad,
Tinkmaster.
not
Maybe
bad.
Not
he's-
bad.
Yeah.
Not
Too
bad.
bad.
Maybe he's waiting for.
How are you going to deal with that massive inferno? You going to crackle for 6 again?
Looks like Trump's a little salty about that 6 crackle.
You're not going to be that lucky. Oh,
Oh.
come on.
StrifeCro's probably gonna. I mean, he could just develop the Thunderbluff Valiant here. I don't know if it's too strong. Maybe he'll just go with like a hero power and drop one of the 2 drops.
Yeah, StrifeCro seems to value the hero power a lot. And in
That
grinding
is the
games
best
like
one.
this, I think it's important.
Strife, you're such a cheater.
I am. You
A
got lucky I didn't
second
roll
Dark
7.
Bomb.
7-6. Oh, but then I would have got BJ'd.
I wonder if it's.
Uh,
This is a hard turn for Trump for sure, because the only way he can actually deal with the board is. Wait, if he Demon Rats,
Uh-oh.
then trades in his 1/1
is
into the
that 8.
6/6, Dark Bombs it. He can keep a 6/6 at full health and maybe go face.
Yeah, he also has to be worried about dying, though.
Yeah, he's pretty low, but I feel at this point, Trump, he needs to end the game at some point.
Yeah.
So I wonder.
StrifeCro keeps reminding him,
Yeah, it's like, hey Trump, you're running low on health over there.
you're running low on health.
I don't think you can. I don't think you can trade as Trump here. I think you have to hit face for that 7.
Yeah. So he sets
That's
up.
scary.
Yes, it is. Nerubian Egg, he doesn't have an activator.
where's your crackle now?
I'm sure we're gonna see a Thunderbluff hero powered. I mean, probably the Stone Splinter Trog. I'd imagine the Nerubian Egg probably doesn't have too much value at this point in the game.
Yeah. I'm trying to look at what I wrote down, but I didn't really have any. He did have double Flame Tongue Totem in his Shaman deck. So those are the activators for the eggs, and he hasn't drawn in any, but Stone Splinter Trog definitely is
Rip StrifeCro.
more immediate.
And this is actually a really bad spot for Trump too. We've seen both of his Dark Bombs already, so he needs to pull 2
At least
reach
that's what I would like to say.
If he taps, he's still not dead on board as long as he kills the
Yeah,
Valiant.
whatever.
So I guess it's probably best to start with a tap. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
So he rips the Horse Rider off the top, and that's going to be game 1 going over to Trump.
Yeah.
Bam!
Good game.
Good game.
Oh man.
I feel like Trump wants to say more.
I feel like Trump just wants to.
That was sick.
There it
I
is.
want a pack for playing on an Android tablet.
Not bad.
Good value.
Is there next game?
Create
Yeah, we're going to be.
No,
doing-
you lose.
Oh.
Do you want to fold?
No.
I bet
You
everything.
could see them animated behind
Yeah,
us
we're just
as
waiting.
well.
We're just waiting for Wade to.
What's your other classes?
I've got
Okay.
Mage and Rogue. What are your other classes?
They're already all
Warlock,
in at the moment.
Pally.
So Trump
And
can't
Shaman,
bet
okay.
anymore, and StrifeCro can't raise it anymore. So They just have to move right into the next match.
Enjoy taking your money, StrifeCro.
This is great. I love seeing
Start?
Thug Trump
Should we just
over
start?
here.
Okay.
Oh
Time
yeah,
to
they're
start,
all
right?
in, so they don't have to
Alright.
bet anymore.
Yeah,
huh?
exactly. They
Sorry, I
can't
zoned
bet
out.
anymore.
I zoned
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
StrifeCro can taunt him with his chip pile.
That's true.
Yeah.
StrifeCro does have all of the chips, so
Yeah, StrifeCro is the current chip leader going into this match.
I think it was at 2050, I believe.
2050. Trump was tied for last, and as we've mentioned a few times in the past couple minutes, Trump is all in, which means if he loses this best of 3, then he will be eliminated from the World Series of Sealed. But he's one game up at the moment,
Yep.
so we'll see if he can close it out and double his pool.
Yep, and as these games are going on, we do have 2 players completing their drafts on stage.
Yeah.
So we'll have that going on.
Yeah.
That was a hint to the staff to get 2 players to start their drafts on stage.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have those ready for the next match. But Trump actually decided to go with the mid. This is really interesting because I felt like Trump spent a lot of time grooming his rogue deck, probably more time than any of the other 3 decks, and now he's just not playing it. It's like he gave it a makeover. He like put some mechs in it, took some mechs out of it, and like puts a couple of Jeeves in it and some spells, and then all of a sudden he just said, you know what, I'm just not going to play it.
He must just feel more confident with his mage deck overall against StrifeCro's lineup.
Yeah.
Because we did see his mage deck is fairly strong. I mean, even look at his hand; it's pretty good.
Ahead of
Yeah.
time. Sorry.
Uh-oh. I feel like that
What does
means
that
he's going to
mean?
go for a Mad Bomber.
Oh yeah.
Huh.
He's debating whether or not he wants to coin out the
That
Argent
means our
Horse
poor
Rider.
whirling Zap-O-Matic is gonna die.
Trump with some pre.
I think you should ping it over 2 turns. Get that Trump value.
That would be infinite value. Wouldn't have to use a card for it then.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm assuming it's got to be the Mad Bomber. Oh no, he's gonna coin out the Horse Rider.
Yeah, I don't think he thinks he can take that much. Flamemaker with the coin is great, but I don't know if it's that great.
Yeah, don't worry, loves the cavalry's here. And looks like, I mean, he can go with the Power Mace here, but that seems fairly weak. He might just, you think he'll play off curve here? Maybe drop the Murloc Tidehunter? Because the egg, I'm not really sure why the egg is in the deck. I don't think we've seen a lot of
Flametongue, double Flametongue Totem. He
Okay,
has.
we just haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, we just haven't seen either of them. But I can't remember what else was in the deck that could be used as an activator. I don't know if there was an Abusive Sergeant. There was Rockbiter weapons. We saw a double Rockbiter weapon as well, which can be used as an activator. So, and he does go with,
that's true. So I guess the egg does have a little bit of synergy in there at least.
yeah. So he does go with the Power Mace, which if he plays with the Murloc Tidehunter this turn, he pretty much is forced to play off curve for the next.
Oh, no
Many,
mech in
many
hand,
turns.
StrifeCro. That's very unfortunate for you.
Ooh, Trump making the
I'll
right
get
call
one.
here. Realizing StrifeCro didn't attack with the Power Mace, so
Yeah,
calls
so
his bluff.
he actually holds it because he wants to pull that value out, but it didn't really end up working out too well for him. I feel like developing the Tidehunter that turn actually would have paid off a decent amount with the Dark Iron Dwarf draw, which is another activator for the egg. But
Yeah.
we do have an option for StrifeCro to play all of his, or both of his 2 drops now. We'll give him 3 minions, but that is a little
StrifeCro, how does it
scary.
feel to pass turn 3?
It's not a pass. It's a good play.
Well, you didn't do anything.
I developed the mana.
You didn't even hit my face.
Looks like Trump is continuing the banter. He really wants to get inside StrifeCro's head, and he's winning the series, so maybe it is working.
Yeah, and StrifeCro's made some interesting plays throughout the series, so maybe he is. And now he just makes the preemptive attack into the Flame Wicker. Ooh.
Getting everyone.
This is a tough play. Forgotten Torch doesn't really have a great target, and Mad Bomber can punish Trump very heavily.
Yeah, Mad Bomber's pretty rough here. He could potentially use his Flamewaker to pop the egg, then Forgotten Torch the Nerubian, and then depending on what happens with the shots, trade in his Horse Rider.
Yeah.
Is that a little far-fetched?
Even if he gets perfect Flame Wakes, then he would
Okay, I
still
believe.
leave one creature on the board. And he would sort of give initiative over to StrifeCro, but we'll see. I think
if he gets perfect flame wakes, he could clear the board if he trades in his Horse Rider.
yeah. Ooh.
I mean, at least he killed one of them. He'll keep the Horse Rider alive, which isn't going to matter too much because there is a weapon as well as an activator for the egg. So we'll probably see Dark Iron Dwarf's pretty strong here to take out that Flame Waker. And since we know it's effigy, StrifeCro's still going to have that weapon to actually take out whatever comes out.
StrifeCro, did you know that your egg cannot get buffed by the Power Mace?
I do.
Trump literally is bullying.
I feel like StrifeCro's just not even paying attention to what Trump's saying at the moment.
He's like on autopilot,
Yeah.
kind of saying yes.
Just telling you in case you didn't know.
Yeah.
Well, good guy Trump really bringing on the Trump teachings here.
Yeah. All right, so I'm not quite sure. StrifeCro not quite sure what the secret is. So
What's a Flame Waker,
He's
right?
playing this so slow.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I'm really trying to figure out exactly what StrifeCro's overall plan is here. And Trump's hand is really good.
Yeah.
Do you remember which secrets Trump drafted?
Effigy.
Is
That's
that
it.
That's the one?
It's the only one.
Okay, so it looks like the Mad Scientist isn't going to be too strong here. I mean, he does have 2 strong 5-drops to drop either way, so it's probably not too relevant. But I think I probably prefer the Drake because it doesn't die to the weapon.
Yeah.
Teacher, okay.
So I guess this isn't too much of a punish for StrifeCro because basically he just buys himself an extra turn to evaluate and maybe even get a better target for Dark Iron Dwarf for the Nerubian Egg to hit into, or potentially a mech. So he didn't really sacrifice too much to make sure that he was going to give himself another turn.
I
to
hope there
potentially
are no
draw into a
mechs in
mech.
your deck.
Do you think it's probably best for StrifeCro to start by killing the Flame Waker with his Haunted Creeper to kind of test the secret?
There's so many things that it could still be. The only thing he's played around so far is Mirror Entity.
Mirror Entity, and then if you trade in, you end up playing around.
You're getting so much value out of this totem thing.
Yeah.
You end up playing around what?
Counterspell.
Counterspell, duplicate.
Effigy.
I guess, yeah.
Duplicate.
All right, so we did it,
Vaporize.
and a Desert Candle. That's actually relatively annoying for StrifeCro simply because it can't actually die to the weapon. But I guess he was going to kill the Drake either
Yeah,
way. So.
I think that's why he gave himself another turn, just to evaluate and see it. Trump does have a few AoE spells in this mage deck, if I remember correctly.
I think we saw
Blizzard
one
and-
Flame Strike and one Blizzard.
Yeah, so he does have comeback mechanics on the board. We'll see if he can draw into those. Uh-oh.
Oh.
6
I like-
targets on board
like-
and 2 hits
I don't like that
Yeah,
so
that-
much.
that's
go to
not
his own face.
It's not exactly
Could've
where
been
he
better,
wanted those
definitely, I
bombs to go, but he did get 1 hit on one of the 4/4s, which is pretty important for the Forgotten Torch in his hand.
Mad Bomber, why'd you do this to me?
So he can actually
Come
take
on.
out the 4/3 as well as maybe one of the 1/1s, or probably the Spell Power Totem is higher priority.
Yeah.
That wasn't supposed to happen.
But I don't know. This game's been going pretty slow. Both players are playing relatively conservative, and as a result, it's kind of... Trump really doesn't want to lose, obviously, because his life's on the line, but we'll have to see what he goes with.
I don't want him to lose yet either.
I know. It's better for us the more players that stay in, right?
Yeah.
That way we get to cast more games. Oh, there's one of the Flame Tongues. That's actually really strong here. Because he can not only play the Flame Tongue, but he can also develop the Feral Spirits and a Hero Power as well.
Yeah.
So, and with all those totems on board, the Thunder Valiant might actually get a ton of value next turn. So, I don't
Yeah,
know.
including Flame Tongue Totem is in the Totem family.
Where's your secret?
I didn't feel like letting you play into Mirror Entity.
Yeah, pretty good one.
Alright, so a couple good trades there. A little bit of value from StrifeCro's Flame Tongue. And I'm sure we're probably going to see either protection from the Belcher itself or just a Feral Spirit Hero Power. I
Yeah.
mean,
If he's
Belcher
going to play
plays
the
around
Valiant
Flame
next
Strike.
turn, it feels like he wants to fit in a Hero Power.
Yeah.
Just because then next turn he can play Thunderbluff Valiant and buff up 3 totems. Totem leaders this turn, the Flame Tongue Totem, and the regular totem, but he's going to go ahead and pass it off. And once again, Trump doesn't draw into that AoE. And now Trump's sort of quiet now.
Yeah, I know. He's really thinking because he needs to pull AoE, which is definitely why he's dropping this Conjurer. He's trying to buy himself time.
Ooh.
Do you take the Pyroblast, or do you think you need the Ice Lance to stall some more time?
I think Pyroblast does next to nothing at the moment. You're not even at turn 10. You don't even have your opponent down to a certain amount, so it's every your Ice Lance. And Ice Lance is the tempo tool, and it can be combined with a Violet Teacher.
We could see like a Sludge Belcher Effigy turn next turn.
Yeah.
That's pretty strong.
Yeah.
Getting another random 5-drop, you can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, that's very true. And I think Trump might be thinking about that as well. But definitely not Pyroblast. All
I'm
right,
just a
FG
fan.
it is.
I'm just a fan of the Pyroblast. EJ. Come on. So he actually decides to take the Effigy, ping off the Dark Iron, and pass it over to StrifeCro, whose board is looking very terrifying.
Start reaping the benefits from the Thunder Bluff Valiant, perhaps.
He definitely can. If he ends up dropping that and just hero powering this turn, he'll be able to push, is that 13 damage face?
Yeah.
And it's going to put, I mean, Trump's pretty much a full house, so it's gonna only put him down to 15, but not too bad. All right. Another 6 roll for StrifeCro. Looks like Trump's really quieting down here. I think he might know that he's in trouble.
Yeah. He also needs to concentrate here because we are starting to get towards the end of this game, and this is where the decisions really matter in the long run.
Yeah, I feel like Trump really wants to probably get that Arcane Intellect out as soon as possible. Try to dig through his deck for that Flame Strike and that Blizzard that we know are in there. Because without those, I think it's going to be really hard for him to be able to take this board back.
Yeah. Yeah, with Flame Totem on the board, it feels right to trade because the slime is just buffed up once again, so you get sort of higher value out of both of the minions. It's mutually beneficial for the Flame Totem and the Sludge Belcher.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. I like, again, going back to that last play, playing the Sludge Belcher over the Feral Spirits is definitely the way to go, especially with this Death Rattle synergy. He gets to use that Flame Tongue Totem a lot more. And it looks like Trump did also go with the Sludge Belcher Effigy play we talked about.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. And speaking of synergy, we're going to see really good value trades coming out here from StrifeCro.
Yeah. So what are some super impactful 5-drops that Trump can get from this effigy that can maybe swing the board? Abomination.
Oh, Abomination would be insane.
Would be a pretty big swing. What else?
More Belchers?
Okay, that's
Very good.
That's probably one of the lower scale on the lower of the totem.
It's actually terrible.
It is
It's one of the
pretty bad.
lowest.
It has to be, right?
Faceless Manipulators, a 3/3.
That would have been pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, this might be one of the worst ones.
Yep. Nothing's going Trump's way this match. Even managed to win the last one despite StrifeCro rolling high so many times, and with the 2 implosion that Trump had. And you can see Trump's in definite focus mode here, but we're to the point where StrifeCro was actually getting close to just lethal damage. And he actually even used the Rock Biter to trade. Oh yeah, next turn easily. He actually even almost had it that turn.
He
was just like 5 damage off.
I mean, it's got to be Intellect into Blizzard. Is that kind of the only direction we have left?
It feels like it. There's no 0 mana spells that you can take. You could just Totemic Might for lulls.
Yeah, and I feel like at this point Trump probably wants to conceal the rest of his deck, especially if he plans on playing it again, and he doesn't want to reveal too many of his cards. So
All right.
he's probably just going to roll out of the game.
Yeah. Well played comes out, and it looks like we are going to be going to a game number 3, as I don't see a way that Trump can get out of this one. See what he has to say.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that, I mean, I feel like StrifeCro probably feels really confident in his Paladin list.
Yeah.
And I'd have to assume he's going with the Paladin here.
Yeah, I feel like StrifeCro is starting to, just his silence is starting to get to Trump a little bit.
Think so?
Yeah, potentially. But they are going to pick their third decks here in just a moment, and we'll get into that last match. But once again, Trump on the verge of elimination here.
Yeah, this is
all in. And StrifeCro, of course, still the chip leader. But while they select their third decks, we're going to give them a little bit of break. So we are going to go to a quick break, but don't go anywhere, guys, to conclusion of this series and more from the World Series of Sealed right after this. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the World Series of Sealed here at Esports Arena. My name is TJ, and once again, I'm joined by ShamonaHe.
What's up?
We're in the middle of a pretty exciting match between Trump and StrifeCro. And, of course, this is an elimination round match, which means Trump is all in since he only has 400 coins remaining at the end of this match. So if he does lose,
He's gone.
he's gone.
Swoop.
Yeah.
And it's
Swoop.
going to be swoop.
Yeah.
Gone. That's the sound of him, all of his chips leaving him.
That's correct. And StrifeCro, of course, the chip leader, I think he'd be very happy about being the first player to eliminate someone from the tournament. So we're going to jump into game number 3 here in a moment to get into the decider match. But I've been liking their banter back and forth. Trump tried to get some mind games going on at the beginning.
It started to work, but I feel like at the end when he started to lose, he started to kind of shut down and focus more.
Yeah.
And it really put StrifeCro back in the game.
Yeah, you can
know?
see his confidence level rising.
Right. That's what this game's about, confidence.
As much as you can see StrifeCro do much of anything, his emotions change at all. That's how much his confidence level rose. So we'll have to see as we get into the final match. But
yeah, this is game 3, so it's just one final game to decide whether or not StrifeCro is going to go up an additional 400 gold, continuing his lead in the tournament, or if Trump's going to somehow make a mystic comeback and go up to 800. Leaving him in a decent spot going into round 4.
Yeah, so Trump has used the Warlock already, and StrifeCro has one with the Shaman already, I do believe. So now it looks like StrifeCro is going to throw out his Paladin deck, and Trump is going to throw out his Mage deck once again. So it's a good curve early on. Now it looks like we're just going to be on Trump's perspective for a bit here. And we'll see if we can get the other one back.
Yeah, Trump has a decent-looking hand to start. He has the Mad Scientist. I didn't even see the Blackwing Technician last game. Does he have dragons other than
He has Azure Drake and Nefarian.
Well, I guess we're the luckiest people in the world
yeah,
today.
sure. We'll see if this Mad Bomber can take out the shielded mini-bot. This Mad Scientist doesn't trade well into it, and I don't know if he just wants to ping and pass, because that gives full initiative over to StrifeCro.
Yeah, the Mad Bomber, I mean, if it at least hits the shield once, he's in decent shape.
Yeah.
Especially since StrifeCro ended up coining out the mini-bot. We're not 100% sure what else is in StrifeCro's hand at the moment, but if he's going to be coining out a mini-bot, let's just assume he has a second one. That seems pretty Paladin-ish, am I right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, looks like where did StrifeCro go? Oh, man.
What to do? What to do?
All right, well, it looks like we're going to be living in Trump's shoes. So something that
We're going to be role-playing.
What a lot of poker tournaments do is they watch from a certain person's point of view, so they kind of see the thought process while they make certain plays, as well as why they're betting the way they are, which is exactly what we're doing here on purpose.
Yes. 100% on purpose.
Yes, so it's kind of interesting that Trump decided not to play the Mad Bomber or the Scientist, but instead just ping off the shield. Why do you think that is?
That's just how Trump plays. The likelihood that he gets the Mad Bomber to hit the shield mini about 3 times is very low. The likelihood that he hits it once is decent, but if he doesn't, then he gets a terrible trade. He gives up all board initiative and gives StrifeCro complete board initiative. So this way he just gets the consistency of it. He saves the Mad Bomber, so he doesn't spend a card just to effectively remove the Divine Shield, if that were to be the case, and now is able to play the Blackwing Technician on the board and still have the Mad Bomber later to maybe damage some stuff.
Okay, I could kind of see where you're going with that. It just feels like the Mad Bomber is kind of the best it's going to be there.
Yeah.
Kind of because later in the game, most of the time your Mad Bomber is just hitting yourself in the face anyway. So
just damage your own minions, perhaps.
Ooh, we do see the Genie in StrifeCro's deck, which could get some value if he has like a Blessing of Kings or Seal of Champion, which is actually a really strong card in formats like this.
Yeah, that's true. And it looks like he's just going to trade everything in, but we saw earlier when StrifeCro built this Paladin deck. It seemed pretty strong. The one thing I was a little bit confused about was he decided to put like 4 secrets in it. And I looked down and I was like, well, if he's going to draft 4 secrets, he probably has Mysterious Challenge. But no, he didn't.
He probably just feels that the secrets individually are very powerful. And I think we showed our battle tag on stream, and we're just
we did. That is correct.
So we'll go ahead and put ourselves on busy there, so we stop getting flagged with.
I don't know about that.
No. All right, never mind. We're not gonna put ourselves on busy. We're just gonna enjoy the friend requests.
Let them have their fun.
Novice Engineer here seems pretty strong.
Yeah.
I actually really like Polymorph Boar in a format like this because you never know what's gonna be coming out.
Yeah.
And Polymorph Boar is one of those cards that really can just StrifeCro sent us a friend request. Polymorph can really just give us the excess viability or, plays that you need to make in these type of situations.
Yeah.
Yep. So as I said earlier, we
Yep.
are completely on purpose only watching Trump's point of view because a very poker-themed tournament that we are running. One of the things they do in professional poker tournaments is they strictly watch one side, really play from that player's point of view. And so, poker theme, that's what we're doing. It's on purpose, so don't worry about that, chat. And pretty good Blessing of Kings. Would have been nice to have that genie out first, but we take what we get.
Yeah. Well, this is where that polymorph board comes into. I guess you're right in the fact that you sort of need at least some type of hard removal.
Yeah,
if you don't have the regular polymorph, then polymorph board is sort of the backup plan.
What's the word? Viability?
Viability, yeah.
It gives you like those the situations really that you need to. I think Torch is probably better here. Do you like Torch Ping over? Torch Mad Bomber.
One sec, I'm logging into my Battle.net account so I can add this account on my friends list.
It's all right. We only have about, give or take, 13,000 more friend requests on the way. So
If you see a Zumo pop up, that's me. Big shout out to myself.
Oh man.
All right, well, still doesn't know what that secret is, I don't think.
Yeah, looks like he's gonna go with the Belcher here, which feels kind of bad because it just kind of gets sacrificed.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure I approve of this play from Trump. I think I might have preferred the Forgotten Torch, but I can kind of see where he's coming from, where he doesn't know what the secret is, so he doesn't want to play into like a redemption.
Yeah. He also doesn't want. Yeah, that's true. And doesn't want to play into redemption and have nothing on board to sort of back it up. But yeah, StrifeCro. We don't really know what his hand is, but I wrote down a couple notes on his Paladin deck. Actually, no, I wrote down one note. Mukla.
He has Mukla?
So there's a King Mukla in here somewhere.
Okay.
And he did have some mech synergies, and of course, I mentioned earlier, he did have those secrets. So.
Reporting for duty.
All right, so really scary board from StrifeCro. I can't say that Trump's not shaking in his boots right now. He's probably thinking. He's probably thinking how far behind it he is. And are we sure he drafted a Flame Strike and a Blizzard? Because
I believe so. We've only been through like 15 cards of his deck in the first game, and only about 10 cards of the deck in the second game. Wow, nothing hit a minion.
Well,
everything went to the face.
If there was a way to lose a game, I'm not going to lie to you, this is probably it.
Yes, that is. And now he has to know that this is going to be avenged, so he might as well just go ahead and get it out of the way. But that's going to be a lot of damage. This is going to be coming out of his face. Oh, we have StrifeCro and we have Trump.
Still no cards, but at least we have
their
faces. And we're going to be able to hear them as well again.
Yeah.
So.
I think there are only 200 open friend slots, so I don't think he can take over 200 friend requests.
Well,
so
I guess it's a
getting
race,
close to the
guys.
end. Get them in while you can. Get them while they're hot.
They're going fast.
Yeah.
It stopped blinging. Maybe they caught up.
Yeah.
Nope. There they are.
There they are.
What's up, Danny? Start giving shout-outs to people.
All right. Oh, there. Okay. Well, we can hear them. And Trump just lets out a groan. I think he realizes that his tournament life might be coming to an end here.
Yeah. But remember, guys, even if Trump does go home in 6th place, he does go home with $250.
Yeah.
So not too bad for a simple trip to the amazing esports arena.
I'm sure he had fun, too. We'll see.
Yeah.
Still not out of it yet, though. He might draw those elusive flame strike, those elusive AoE spells that he's been looking for just about the entire 2 games he's been playing in this deck.
All right, so we have Silver Moon Guard here. And yeah, StrifeCro is probably just going to... He has to get that 9 damage in here. It's too important to pass up, so... I mean, Trump is going to get an effigy at least off the Scientist.
Yeah.
But other than that, that doesn't really help.
Well, he can just value your trade with his Mad Scientist if he chooses. If he wants to, like,
Into the
Forgotten
1/1?
Torch and then ping off the Tinker's...
And play the
Tinkertown
Snow
Technician.
Chugger?
Yeah. I mean, he could actually want to get the effigy out, but he's also going to play a 2-drop this turn. He's also going to play the Snow Chugger, it feels like. Actually, he might not even, because then the Snow Chugger would just die from the Silvermoon Guardian. And effigy doesn't have that much value with a 2-drop.
That's true. Either way, it's probably hitting a 2-drop here. Unless he doesn't actually pull the effigy, you're probably right. He'll probably just kill the 1/1 and develop the Snow Chugger, so that way the effigy's not even developed.
Yeah.
It does kind of suck just to kind of sacrifice the Snow Chugger here, but it's probably for the best.
Yeah, I'd say so. And Trump's got some decent late game coming up. With Nefarian can pull some crazy things from Paladin. Because Paladin has some of the best class spells
Oh, yeah,
in the
those
game. Blessing of Kings.
I don't know.
Seal
Mage
Champions,
probably
Land
has
Hands.
the best ones. Especially in a format like this.
Yeah,
where
that's true.
all of your spells are all removal
Yeah.
and unstable portal. I know we saw Reynad's new list. It does have double portals, so you got to wait for that. I'm really
Yeah.
excited to see some
Some esports.
some Esportals. Speaking of good cards, Murloc Knight.
All right, well, StrifeCro said, well, you don't have AoE, so I'm going to go and just flood the board, and Roaring Torch is not AoE. So once again, Trump finds himself in a position where he might have to dig a little bit with Cold Master and try and trade in with this Mad Scientist. It could work out. He can also Roaring Torch the Murloc Knight and be left with an okay board after everything's said and done.
I mean, Trump's best line of play is to probably draw as many cards as possible for an AoE card next turn so that he can maybe survive or make a comeback. Because this turn, you're really not doing much anything.
Yeah, and effectively trading in Mad Scientist is drawing a card
That's true.
just because it takes a card out of your deck, so it makes it so that it's one card thinner.
And he picks up Conjure, which is pretty important because even if he whiffs on his Flame Strike and his Blizzard again, Conjure could pull maybe like a Frost Nova or an Ice Block to buy him an extra turn.
Yeah.
And let's see what we get. Wow.
Oh.
I mean,
Oh.
I think that's bad.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
All right, we'll agree that it's really
StrifeCro
bad.
doesn't know that it's bad, though.
Maybe if Trump rips a Belcher off the top,
Yeah, Belcher would be great.
Belcher would be nice. He actually traded into it.
Just for...
Oh, sneaky.
Yeah.
Look at him making plays.
We couldn't see that was going to
Wow,
happen.
what a heartless move, tossing that guy away.
Yep.
Got to do what you got to do.
That's true. Trump's going to need a lot of stuff. Now that StrifeCro just
Vigil.
cycled a bit more through his deck.
No, I would treat my guys correctly. Not like you, StrifeCro. You monster.
That's a good
Oh,
one.
You didn't deserve a
Yeah.
good Murloc there.
Ooh.
There's no such thing as deserve in Hearthstone.
Huh.
Amen.
Amen to that.
Amen. So what do we do here? We going with the commander, or do you just we gotta play the Nefarian and hope we don't lose? Because if you play Nefarian, you probably get at least a spell that helps, right? Or in your opponent's
Yeah,
class.
but okay, so you leave, if you trade into the 1/1, you leave 8 damage on the board.
with a
You also have 2 Murlocs.
it's pretty
So
scary.
if you hero power next turn and a Murk-Eye comes out, then it would be, that would only be 4 damage. You'd still be at 12. You'd be okay. But
He-
then you die to like Blessing of Kings, Seal of Champions.
he could. I mean, if he just kills the 3/4, the Murloc Knight, StrifeCro gets to draw a card, which is pretty insane.
Time runs out on me.
I do get that card.
He's like warning Trump with the
You can
card.
also kill a 2/5. Oh.
Oh, look at this! He actually hits it.
Oh.
Wow, what a great play by Trump.
Smart.
Yeah, and this sequencing means he doesn't even get a card out of it. So that's a really good sequence of plays from Trump there.
Yeah, really, really well done. That was a hard play to find, and he found it, made the optimal play, and hopefully it might actually be able to pay off, and this might save his tournament run because he has a good-looking hand. It really depends on what StrifeCro's looking at. So
Yeah, does he have the health to work with? So I was saying if he picks up Holy Light or Land Hands from Nefarian, I can just buy him time. And an 8/8 is still hard to deal with.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Valley time? Oh, no Valley.
no, go ahead and throw the Shredder down.
Yeah,
That's still very scary from StrifeCro. Pretty decent board.
yeah.
And do we have to develop the Conjure, maybe like Conjure Water Elemental, or do you think it's time just to play Nefarian? I feel like it's hard to ever play Nefarian because if your opponent has like Keeper, Aldor, Humility,
Yeah,
like you just lose.
yeah. A Conjurer allows you to find something to deal with some of the board right now, but when are you ever going to find time to play Nefarian and not die the next turn?
That's true. And it looks like he's going to do it. Let's see what we get.
Ooh.
So Divine Favor's probably a whiff, but Seal of Champion might help in a couple turns.
Yeah, but
We were probably looking for like Holy Light, am I right?
yeah, maybe even a Lay on Hands just for
Lay on Hands.
having to wait till next turn. Maybe even no, I don't know. I'm trying to think of any other Paladin spells, but that's
Oh my gosh.
actually going to just be game, and that means StrifeCro continues his chip lead, and Trump unfortunately is eliminated.
That's
from the
right.
World Series of Sealed.
So Trump is going to take 6th place here at the World Series of Sealed, going home with $250.
Yeah.
And StrifeCro continuing his dominance in this tournament. He's going to
Yeah.
go home. What's he at now? 2,000.
That was an 800 pot, and he put in 400.
So
So
2,450.
2,450.
Not
yeah.
bad.
Not bad.
StrifeCro's looking good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
All right. Well, we are going to send it down to Wade, who's on the floor, standing by to get some words with the players after that match.
So all smiles right there for StrifeCro. Very happy, as you can imagine. Congratulations on winning. Trump, tears, I'm sorry. What can you do? The cards weren't in your favor today.
Yeah,
I suppose it happens, but
I suppose.
yeah. Thank you very much for coming and competing in this first World Series of Sealed and everything. So, yeah, thank you. What was your? I mean, you had the genie, and obviously that using the seal in your hand.
Yeah.
Did you expect the genie to stick around for as long as it did to be able to activate it?
Yeah, I mean, the way I was playing, most of the removal would have came out already. Like, no flame strike for like 4 turns in a row. A lot of stuff was sticking. So, I mean, I played a lot of minions that were high threat, like 2 Murloc Knights in a row. So I kind of expect it to stick around, yeah.
Yeah, well, looks like it to be a strong deck, and so far in this tournament, you've made some pretty strong ones, obviously. The chip leads still, so see if that continues on throughout the tournament.
My money, no.
Yeah,
I got
let's
them
push
chips.
that over his way.
No.
Show me the monies.
Trump, any last words?
Well, StrifeCro, you have my money, so you better go on and win this thing.
Oh, thanks, Trump.
All right, guys, thank you.
Okay.
Well,
I'll see.
Trump's eliminated, unfortunately. But you heard him. StrifeCro has his money, so StrifeCro better carry the torch. Thanks very much. Wade the Dealer.
that's it. That's him.
He's known on the streets as Wade the Dealer.
That's not true.
That's what he wears all the time, actually.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
If you ever
that's,
come down to the arena, he's always wearing that.
yeah. He's just waiting for someone to come up to his table and ask for him to deal them some poker. So,
Strictly poker.
yeah. But that was a fun match. Next up, we're going to have Reynad taking on Zalay, which also has the potential to be an elimination match. Reynad doesn't have to go all in right away since he has 550 coins, and the ante is going to be 450. But Zalay can, get those bets up there to find a way to eliminate him. Before we jump into that match, I think we are going to have to take a quick break. So don't go anywhere, guys. More World Series of Sealed will continue right after this.